7, 8. One change. Walk, step on the seam, point, 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 flick, step, kick, step, change, leave at the hip.
Perhaps
Walk,
no other show in the history of American musical theater has created such a lasting relationship with audiences throughout the world as A Chorus Line. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize, 9 Tony Awards, and numerous other awards and citations, A Chorus Line holds the record as the longest-running show in Broadway history, 6,137 performances at New York's Shubert Theater. A Chorus Line was originally conceived, choreographed, and directed by the late Michael Bennett, with a little help from his dancer friends whose life stories are laid bare in the course of the performance.
This is the best time of my life.
For many of the original cast members, participating in the creation of A Chorus Line has led to a lifetime involvement with the show.
I was Michael Bennett's assistant and assistant choreographer and dance captain. And I was in a very lucky position to inherit the show, to be able to direct it and choreograph it all over the world. And I've come full cycle. It's 16 years.
I don't think I even had an idea of the passionate reaction people were going to have in New York, let alone 15 years later all over the world. At the moment it was going on and we were working and rehearsing and creating the piece, I was just happy that it was going to be in New York.
It was the reality of what was happening. So the fact that it was nothing that had to be, you know, artificially put together. I mean, this group of people that you saw on the stage were people that were really doing it on Broadway. At that time, I was doing Pippin, and there were other people who were in shows doing it. So there was the Latina on Broadway doing it, you know what I'm saying? Or there's the gay person who's always been in the theater dancing or set designing or whatever. I mean, maybe opening up the doors and letting the world look in was new, but the actual experience of what was being shown was an everyday occurrence. You know, and that's why I think Chorus Line is the hit. It is, remains, and I think will always be, because it is truth, based on truth, and truth is, you know, the truth is.
We were the pioneers. It was the first time something like that had ever been done, and I think that it affected the industry and all facets of the industry, and I believe that the honesty really caught on, and people just started stepping forward and saying, this is who I am, and standing up for their rights and standing up for their souls and standing up for themselves.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Nearly 17 years after its debut at New York's famed Shakespeare Festival, A Chorus Line continues to transfix old and new fans alike. The current touring company recently returned to the Shubert Theater in Los Angeles for a 3-week run. Working on A Chorus Line is the dream of a lifetime for members of the present cast and crew.
Very proud of these. They're the original finale costumes, some of them being 25 years old. They require a lot of upkeep, because these are all put on by hand, the rhinestones. And I came up with a great little idea on keeping these bows looking nice and crisp. And instead of using tissue paper and steaming them, one day I thought, let's try some curlers. So by inserting a curler in there in the evening, then when it comes time for the actor to put them on, they have a nice bow tie. We didn't even have to steam those. I try not to handle these too much, because the more you handle them, they are so fragile that the stones do come off. And this is one of Frank's jobs. Frank is my beater here, and he is now beating some of the, or replacing some of the stones in the finale costumes.
This stuff is so incredible. I can feel the person who's done this, you know?
Yes.
It's a wonderful experience, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
Since everything is authentic, and to find bell-bottoms nowadays is pretty hard. And it is very hard nowadays to find leotards of that period. Most of them now are very shiny, and of course we don't want that, because in the 70s that wasn't the way they were. But I managed to find as close as I can get and then dye them to the original color, because I have got to keep everything as close to the original Broadway production as possible.
They're really good here.
Wait a minute,
Let me try your jacket on, Frank. People in the audience don't know. They don't even know about the dressers behind doing that quick change. Now that quick change, getting them into the gold, is 1 minute and 37 seconds for 6 dressers to get 19 people into the gold. In that quick change, there is no room for error, but we got them on. Shoelaces will break, but we get them on. I carry mini safety pins and rubber bands. Shoelace breaks, put the rubber band around their foot, and they get on. This cast is incredible. We are a family. And as I said, it's a dream come true for me to be able to be the wardrobe supervisor of the Broadway touring company of a chorus line. What more could any person want?